I think it was maybe 6 or 7 years old when my mother, on one weekend night, decided to go out with some girlfriends of hers, and they went to a male strip show. She had already divorced my father because he was a hollering, fire and brimstone preacher who was physically abusive. So that was a period where I was basically being raised by a single mom. So she went to this strip show, and when she came back, she told me all about it. She told me about watching these men um, taking their clothes off and about um, what their bodies looked like. She told me what a G string was. She told me about the women going on stage and stuffing money into their G strings, and some of them would stick it right in the pouch and try to cop a feel. She told me about the men that she liked, the ones with mustaches and hairy chests. And she went up on stage and put her money into a guy's G string. And she told me about how there was an older woman, an old lady, who went up and she was too embarrassed to stick her money in the G string, so she put it in his bow tie collar instead. And then he pinched her butt as she was leaving. She told me about how one of her friends referred to the men as little pieces of fluff. Oh, he's a hot little piece of fluff. And I did not like hearing this. I did not like hearing her talk about men like that. I did not like the objectification. I did not like the lusty sound. Um, it made me incredibly uncomfortable, and I didn't want to be around my mother. And I don't know if I can't explain why I did this, but when I went to bed that night, I closed the door to my bedroom and I moved a bunch of furniture up against the door because I knew that my mother liked to come into my bedroom and watch me sleep. You know, parents like to do that. They like to slip in quietly and watch their children sleep for a while, makes them feel good. But for some reason, I was just so uncomfortable. I didn't want her to do that. So I went to sleep, and well, guess what? She wanted to come in, and when she found out that the door was blocked, she started banging on it and trying to shove it open and just yelling at the top of her lungs to me. So I woke up with hearing her screaming and banging on the door and just shoving the furniture out of the way, just little by little, boom, boom, boom. And when she finally got in, oh, she was just red in the face. She was furious, and she demanded to know why I did that. I did not tell her. I would not tell her. There was something about it that I was just like, I'm not going to tell her. I don't want her to know this. And that just pissed her off even more. She was furious. So I got punished, which meant that I had to uh, pull down my pants and receive a whipping on my bare ass, which is a little extra humiliating to have done to you by a mother who has just gone to a strip show and watched men take off their clothes. There's something about the whole thing that was just it was I it was so incredibly humiliating. Um, she had done other stuff in my teens too. She married another man who had become my first stepfather, but then that didn't work out. They divorced. So once again, I was in my teen years and being raised by a single mother, and there was a point where she was going out to bars and picking up these men and taking them home. And I would wake up on a Saturday or Sunday morning and just going about my morning, and some dude would come out of her bedroom, some strange man. Hey, how you doing? My name's Earl. My name's Logan. My name is Ray. Just like a different man every week. And the funny thing is, when my sexuality began to develop, she was offended by it. She didn't want to know about me being sexual, even though she had no problem showing off her sexuality to me. Uh, I guess I'm thinking about this because I keep hearing a lot of stories about modern parents wanting to sexualize their children, um, the and adults in general, LGBT stuff in school, uh, teaching that children can be trans, um, teaching children about gay sexuality, and it's just so fucking wrong. Children should not be exposed to sexuality like that.